Hey guys, I'm Donald Diggs, and I'm also here with my co-host Miss Flex.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about the onslaught of games that are coming out for the celebratory seasons of October, November, and December. September doesn't have any holidays, does it?
It has my birthday. That's a holiday, right?
Fair
Just
enough.
kidding.
Oh, is it not your birthday in September?
No, it is my birthday. I was just like joking because obviously it's not a holiday, but it could be, you know.
Fair enough. So, I guess from what I've been seeing, it's a lot of games that are about to drop. As far as for like first person shooters and like a bunch of new titles that I haven't even heard of. So like the first one that I put down on the notes was like Rainbow Six Siege Extraction because Tom Clancy has like it's been a while since they dropped a new game as far as when it
Yeah.
comes to like a first person shooter.
When do you
So
know when the last Rainbow Six was?
I think that was like 2016.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So like for them to come out, I guess with well, to be fair, Rainbow Six Siege, I think during its mid season, whatever, it dropped Rainbow Six Siege Outbreak, and that was the whole kind of like side thing that they had going on, where it was a you could either go stealthy or you can go loud, and it was like there was a lot of infected, and you had to extract other operators outside of the map. So what it seems to me like what they're doing with Rainbow Six Siege Extraction is that they're adding on to the game for people who already currently have Rainbow Six Siege, but I think it's going to be a
Mm,
spinoff, but it's not confirmed. So that's the only thing I'm like questioning.
okay. Well, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, because it's like Rainbow Six Siege itself is already its own game, but they're calling it
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege Extraction. So I don't know if it's going to add on to the game that is already out or that it's going to be like its own game. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's time for them to just like create a new one. Like if it takes 6 years to do an add-on, like maybe
Yeah,
just
like at that point, it should just be its own
yeah,
game.
like it's been 6 years. Like I think, as nice as it would be to be like an add-on, like, oh, I already have the game, I just pay for, this portion of it, or, I still think, for Rainbow Six fans, they're waiting for a new game at this point. Like it's been long enough. So I kind of hope that it's going to be like even if it's a spin-off of Rainbow Six Siege, that it's like its own standalone game, I think would be my preference.
No, I completely get what you're saying because the last Rainbow Six or the last Tom Clancy game that we had was the Division 2, and that was an okay game. I mean, as far as for what it was going for, it kind of gave us like a letdown, I guess, for the story was. But I mean, all out gameplay, like if you're playing with buddies, any game's gonna be fun, even if it's shit. So like, so I guess that's where they got lucky because like if you're playing with friends, you're like any game. It's weird how that works too,
Well,
because you
isn't
can
that like
play.
most Tom Clancy though? Tom Clancy games are always they even back in the day when you had like the original Rainbow Six on like Nintendo 64, like they were the kind of breakthrough first person shooter co-op game. So they just kind of have always maintained that, you know?
Yeah, they always maintain the nostalgia of like when you play the game. And I totally understand that. I mean, it's common in most games. Like for example, like Call of Duty, for example, like everyone played Call of Duty on the fucking Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Yeah.
like getting older and you're like, damn, another Call of Duty. You're like it almost slaps you like with nostalgia of like for older people, it's like, damn, I remember playing that on like the 360. But like for new kids, it's like, damn, my mom's not gonna let me play that, but I'm gonna get it anyway. So it's like, so it does give you that good feeling of coming back to the game. It's developed by Ubisoft, so I mean, Ubisoft is its own, I guess.
Yeah, they're Ubisoft to make so many damn. I think it's isn't it Ubisoft? Ubisoft, I think is how it's pronounced. But yeah, they're a beast with the gaming. They run so many damn games.
Yeah, and apparently the NPCs I guess that we're going against is a type of parasite like alien, and I forget how I don't even know how to pronounce this word, but it's
Is
like
it Archaeans?
yeah, Archeans, I guess.
Archaeans? Yeah, I think it's Archaeans, like archaic, but Archaeans, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
I'm not too sure on how to pronounce that, but the intention release date is 2021, which is kind of shocking because we've like heard like little snippets about it, but we never actually got anything full. we just recently got like a good, I think it was like an 8 minute something trailer of it that they were like releasing. We'll see what happens with that as far as, how that goes. It should come off good if they do it right. But
Yeah.
going from that, we have Battlefield 2042, which everyone's also getting hyped for.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's seen the the dude with the rocket launcher hopping out the plane and shooting the jet and then getting back into his own jet. And I think that was from one of the guys back in like the day who was doing like trick shotting on like YouTube. So what happened was he was flying in the plane. Someone was behind him while he was playing. He jumped out of his plane and shot the person that was chasing him in mid sky, and then hopped back in his plane and clipped it.
How?
I have no idea.
I did not see this. I have to look this up. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no. So it was kind of, for the time that it happened, everyone was losing their mind. But when they brought it into the trailer, they were like, damn, they're getting serious. Like, and that comes back to all the memes, I guess, of people saying like Warzone and Call of Duty's about to flop real bad. Because to be fair, Battlefield always kept that realism, I guess, when it comes to like war games. So like when you're playing Battlefield, you're not just playing Battlefield. Like you get your own squad, you get your medic, your ammo guy and whatever, and you're holding the objective. And it was a good 64-64, and the games lasted for like 44 minutes, even more. So I get where they were going with that. I get that they were trying to, or not even trying to, they were inputting like, when you're bunkered in this building, you're bunkered in this building, not like Call of Duty, how you can run around the map, die, respawn. Like this is, you actually have to think about your movements and actually like pay attention to your surroundings. So I like how they incorporate that, and how like if you shoot a rocket launcher at a building per se, the building will explode, or like the building will like crumble down. It's just the little things that they add that makes Battlefield, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not the best with all the first person shooters. I play them, but I'm not as hardcore as some other gamers. But I think one of the things I've always taken away from Battlefield was the realism, right? Like it's always like felt like you were really like it's a very realistic war setup. What I'm interested to see, because isn't this the first one that they've done that's going to be like way futuristic? Like this is Battlefield 2042. So it's going to be interesting to see how they take like the realistic like war vibes that they've done and take it into like this 2042 new age, more modern, kind of getting back into like the other first person shooters that are more, they're not realistic because they're more futuristic based. You know what I mean? So I think from what I've seen from the trailers, though, even the 2042 setup, they're using a lot of like of the same like tanks and weaponry that they used in the older games. So I'm excited to see this one and see how this actually pans out in like a 2042 world. I'm super excited to see it.
Yeah, the main thing that I like, I guess I take out of it, it's more sleek of how the display looks. I guess when you get into the game now, it looks more techie, little bit more modern. So the last couple Battlefields that I were playing, I'm currently playing Battlefield 5. I've been playing it I think for the past week. It's good. The reason why I think people don't like it is because it takes back in like when like Germany was like really strong. So like
but that was like part of what I was saying, that like that was part of, to me, what was the fun of Battlefield is like they were like, okay, this is World War II, here you go, like it felt like, all right, this is in it, and it was, they did such a beautiful job with it that honestly it felt like you're like in the war. Like I don't know how much better they could have done, save VR maybe.
Yeah, no, if they ever create a Battlefield VR,
could you imagine?
you know how many screams you would hear just off gosh. Random? Because like the explosions alone, like if you have good headphones, the explosions are explosions. Like there's no coming back from that. So like imagine actually have to like look around with the VR headset, and like they give you that what's that new VR equipment they got that makes it look like a gun or whatever? Like that's something completely, that'd be something amazing to see, in my opinion. But yeah, so Battlefield 2042, as a tentative release date is October 22nd in 2021. So that's like around the corner.
Yeah, we got like a couple months. In fact,
No,
I think a few of these that you're bringing up are a couple months out. Like these are coming up fast, quite a few.
yeah. And I feel like the reason like they're doing this is because when the PS5 came out, PS5 had a select games that weren't coming out with the console. So like when the game dropped, all that was really to play was like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and they were hyping the hell out of Miles Morales Spider-Man, which I admit was a good ass game. But the game it was short. It was a short story. So it kind of left people hungry for, I guess, more titles to be released. Ratchet and Clank just came out, but people
I
are
didn't
already
even know that Ratchet and Clank. That one's, oh, can I just say Ratchet and Clank is always like it's like a first drop on PlayStation every freaking time. Like even last time when the PS4 came out, PS3 came out, I think Ratchet and Clank was another one. Like within like a month of releasing, it just drops. That
yeah.
game, I don't know how that, I mean, honestly, I don't like that game. I don't know how it stood the test of time. It's such a weird game to me, but teach their own.
What's it called? I feel like PlayStation does this thing where they release a new mascot for like the console. So like back in the day, it was like Knack. Like Knack was like PS3's like go-to. PS4 came out, Knack 2 came out, and they were like, all right, he's the main mascot or whatever. And then they popped off Infamous Second Son, and then PS5, I guess I don't even know who it is. I guess Ratchet and Clank at this point. Like, Ratchet and Clank is such an old game, but this game has its own original story. So I do feel like though, because like the past games were just random, like the last game was on the PS4, it had its own story, and then they came out with a movie. So then I was like, all right, well, like it was in the box office. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I gotta watch this and play the game. Like, I guess that's what we're doing. And the game was fun. It was all right. I haven't played 5 or the new Ratchet Clank. I think it's called Rift Apart. I don't know about that game.
Yeah, I don't. I kind of already told you. Like I know of the game. I played it once. It just wasn't my vibe. Not to knock anybody who likes it.
No, it's understandable because the game is so wacky. But it's like I don't know. Moving on. Wizard with the Gun. Now, Wizard with the Gun is an online cooperative sandbox survival game set in a magical wilderness with dangerous creatures and arcane mysteries. So I'm not too sure exactly what this game is. All I can see from the trailer is that you're a wizard with a gun, and each bullet you shoot is something magical or something that involves with like elements. So like in the trailer, they kind of go off, I guess, of what you can do and like what you're doing. So I guess the main purpose is to survive. There's a lot of big various of creatures. It almost reminds me of like Don't Starve Together. Like the way it looks, but the way it comes off is, I guess, you're surviving with a friend or many friends. You're going against monsters and whatnot. You're exploring dungeons and whatnot, and you're crafting like different cloaks, different magic bullets and whatnot. I don't know what Endgame looks like. However, I can say that I'm hoping like there's some sort of lore or some sort of storyline to follow, and it's not just like.
I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to be more of an open world style of gameplay. I don't know if there is going to be like an end game. I did look into this one. This is one that I actually really want to play. So this one, in case you don't know, it's going to be a Nintendo Switch and PC game, I believe. I don't believe I think it's just either PC or Nintendo. So that should already give you the vibe that it's Nintendo, right? Nintendo's got a different vibe than PlayStation and Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that more cartoony. But from what I've seen, the animations look amazing. It's definitely like more of an open world co-op. And there's a bunch of like creatures and different like mysteries that you solve. And you go, it's just magical. It's a very magical game. The animation looks amazing. So for me, I kind of I'm either like hardcore realistic or hardcore love the animation. Like it's extreme both ways. So like I don't like the realistic animation. I like it like more real or more animated. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be mostly open world, server setup game of like co-op. I haven't seen anything from what the research that I've done as far as like a specific type of storyline. I know there's going to be like different creatures and stuff you fight, but I don't know if there's like going to be like I said, like an end game type of thing, or if it's just one of those kind of like Valheim or 7 Days where you're just constantly, playing just like, do you know what I mean? Like it's just like an ongoing open world game.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I guess I understand what you're saying. It's open world, but there's not an incentive that there's a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I think you're going to get like some story vibe. Again, obviously, I don't know. I think this one's coming out in 2022, so I think this one's a little further out than some of the other ones, if I'm not mistaken, unless you have a different date.
No,
But
it's the same one.
yeah,
It's attention release date's 2022.
yeah. So I'm waiting for more information on it. They haven't put too much out, but like I said, it definitely does look like that traditional open world. Like, of course, there's going to be like some sort of storyline, like backstory, but like it's just is it going to have that end game that you're looking for, like for stories like you normally would with the Switch? And I'm surprised Switch doesn't have a lot of open world co-op type games either. So that's another exciting one for people who don't have PC, that want to play something like this.
It definitely looks like a put in your pocket game. Like it's a definitely like, oh, I'm on the train station. I'll play a little bit of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I feel like it does work compatible with the Switch, because it does get off that. Yeah, I'm gonna play right here, right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Should be
Yeah, I know it's going to be a big customization game too, which is kind of typical for most of your open worlds, right? But I know once they get into it, there's going to be like all these different like magic weapons and armor, and you get to make ammunition and like create your whole little arsenal. So yeah, it's gonna, I don't know, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see like kind of more of what, as we get closer to the date, what they're going to show on it. Because honestly, if you look online, there's not too much except for a bunch of amazing looking artwork that makes me just want to play it right now.
Yeah, no, it definitely holds its values when it comes to its digital design. It looks really good as far as what the animation looks like too. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of customizable things. Far Cry 6.
Another first person shooter on the list.
Yeah, it's another first person shooter.
Another Ubisoft first person shooter. Ubisoft be, in there doing the most.
Yeah, no, they're definitely doing a whole lot. It's a 6th main installment of the Far Cry series for Amazon Luna, Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series XS and Stadia. Now, the game is set to be released on October 7th, 2021, which is the official release date. So that's
nice.
Also around the corner. Now, with Far Cry 6, I kind of like what they're doing with this one. It's almost like every other Far Cry, except this one has a lot of more wacky things that you can do. So, like, you can have like a pet gator, or like you can have.
I want one. I want a pet gator.
Yeah, and this one takes place in a more of a modern day city type area. It's not like all jungle and wilderness. It's more like towns, cities, and all that. Which in the previous Far Cries we didn't really have. I mean, Far Cry, I think it was New Dawn, or not New Dawn, 5, I think, when we had Joseph Seed as like the main villain. It was a town, but it was a country. So there wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to go, like blow up town hall or nothing. Like, it was like, I'm going to drive down to this farm, then to this farm, then to this pond. Like, it was very stretched out, and it was very, how do you put it? Very open. This one's more close quarter, which I kind of feel like is going to be a little bit more difficult as far as when it comes to like people who like playing Far Cry, stealthily. It will give you kind of a challenge because all of your enemies are literally bunched up. So like, depending on how you want to play is a good way to go. They added a new like weapon scheme, I guess, when it comes to like backpacks. So like you can have a whole motor on your back. You can blow up tanks or whatnot, or you can have like a flamethrower backpack, or you can turn a gun into a CD, out of a CD player, I should say, or you could turn a motorcycle engine into a gun. So like it's a lot of customizational things that you can do in this game that not a lot of games give you the freedom. So like anything around you could just equip it and turn it into a gun, which I find really unique.
Yeah, they call it they say using makeshift weapons and makeshift vehicles, which basically means, yeah, you're just freaking creating them, which is awesome. Yeah, this one, I saw the storyline on this. This one looks really, I don't know, it looks interesting. It definitely, like you were saying, it's a little bit smaller layout than what you'd expect from Far Cry. But if I'm not mistaken, it's a Caribbean island that they're on. And
Yeah,
there's like a dictator there, and it's like very like guerrilla fighter, you know, kind of like tyranny regime in the
yeah, like
Caribbean, and like
dictatorship.
yeah. So and don't they have a? I wanted to see. Let me see if I can find his name. His name is Giancarlo Giuseppe Alessandro Esposito. If you guys look him up, he's a really, really well-known actor, and I believe he's actually. I love that they've done a lot of these games where they've taken these actors and they've like made their digital selves
Yeah,
actually
because this
be
one,
the actors
this
in there.
looks exactly like him too.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
does.
the
They did a
most
good
craziest part.
job. Yeah, they did such a good job with him. So, and I really like him. I think he's a really good actor. He's snide and I don't know. I'm excited to see how he plays. It's kind of like I'm waiting for a movie and a game. Whenever I see these, you know, because it's like I love seeing how these characters that are real life actors end up portraying out in these like, and I think he is like the dictator who controls the island and like there's stuff going on with his son. So, and I think his son is like in the storyline, the son is not sure if he's like going to follow in his father's like dictator footsteps or what he's going to do on his own. So there's this really, I think, awesome storyline and setting that's going to be behind this game. So I will say, even though the mapping and stuff might be a little bit smaller, I'm really, really excited to see like how this, it's going to be like watching a movie. This is definitely going to be like a movie style game with a storyline once we get into it. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Far Cry has yet to like fail when it comes to stories
Yeah, no, they're
because
really good.
yeah, because like this is why I feel like this actor is like the best choice for the villain in this game. It's the simple fact that he played so many villains in his
Yeah.
career. So like he played the villain in Mandalorian, he played the villain in I forget his other titles.
I can look him up really quick. Let's see. He's one of those actors that everybody knows, but you don't really remember what he played in. I hate
Yeah,
to
like
say it, but he's just one of those like you know his face. I know he played in oh goodness, Walter White, Breaking Bad. I know he was in
oh
Breaking Bad
yes,
a
he was
bunch.
the
He was
villain in
in
Breaking Bad.
yes, yes. So I know he was in there. Let's look up some of his just you know before we get into our next thing. Just look up some of his stuff. So I mean, yeah, he's like CSI Miami, South Beach, Last Holiday. It's very like there's not really things. It's like you know him, but there's not really like standout things other than Breaking Bad that I can really think of. I know he was in the DC movie. Let me see, which DC movie was he in? Batman Assault on. It was Black Spider and Batman Assault on Arkham, and then he also played Ra's al Ghul and Son of Batman, which I believe were animated, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But yeah, I know he was in Better Call Saul, which would make sense, him being in like Breaking Bad. Oh, he was in The Mandalorian. That's what I was trying to remember. He was the Sith Lord in Mandalorian. Yeah. Sorry, spoiler alert. After the fact, if you haven't seen Mandalorian yet, yeah, he was a Sith Lord. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, but he's a really good actor.
Yeah, no, he's really well known for his villainy, his career. But yeah, like Far Cry, like they always done a good job in making their villains sound like they're telling the truth. So like, for example, like the last dude, his whole deal was like God spoke to him or whatever, and he was building like fallout shelters and whatnot for his cult. And his cult was just gonna, you know, sit under there and just wait for everything to explode and come out and rebuild. However, the way he went about it was so evil and so raw that you didn't want to believe him and you didn't want to like listen to what the hell he was saying. However, they make the villains talk to the audience and go, but what if I am making sense? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of plays the mind of the player who's playing the game.
You know they're gonna do the same thing, right? Like they're for sure doing the same thing in this one.
No.
With him playing it, you know it's gonna be one of those things where you're like torn, like, yeah, he's bad, but
he's making sense. Like
yeah, exactly.
It's almost, it gives you that like that thing where it goes, do I want to help him out or do I want to kill him? Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, also, you know, I'm the kind of, you know, nerd that gets in there and it's like, I don't want to kill him.
Yeah, like
he's my favorite. You know? So,
But then it's like he does questionable things in the game. Like we've seen like the snippets from E3, and there was a scene where he gets on the boat and he's talking to the people on the boat that are like, I guess, trying to like take him down anyway. And he's telling them about this thing that he did with his dad. And he was fishing with his father. His father told him that we never go fishing for the kill. We always catch and release some of the fish. And then he was comparing the fish to the people that were on the boat. And he saw his son, and he told his son, he said, if you really cared about your people, you would have never got on this boat. So then it's like, well, that's true. Like, if you didn't get on this boat, we would have stayed alive and he would have never known where to find us. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's little things like that that really make Far Cry like trick the player.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah, I will say, as far as first-person shooters go, Far Cry is, I think, in my opinion, probably one of the best as far as storylines and building up like a really like to where you're just really vested and you want to get through it. So, you know, like it's a movie. It really is. I love watching playthroughs of games like this.
Yeah, no, it should be really interesting. Going from that, we have Elden Ring. Now, Elden Ring is an upcoming action role-playing game developed.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's an RPG,
Software.
right?
Yeah. Now, it's developed by From Software and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. So I don't.
Bandai. They make like Mortal Kombat and or Street Fighter or whatever. Bandai, you know.
Yeah, I've never seen Bandai come out with any RPG games as far as I can remember. So the fact that they're working on this has me interested and intrigued because the gameplay itself looks really good. It kind of gives off that Dark Souls vibe. However, with its own special mechanics, I guess, as far as what comes with control of the game and how you're able to like play your character and take on these big ass monsters. In my opinion, from what I've seen from Elden Ring, the gameplay looks good. It has a very smooth, nice animation of when it comes to how large and how like scaled the monsters are. And I feel like everyone gets drawn to the fact that like they're just a regular human like killing big ass things. Like I feel like that's like a lore to like games like this. And and to me it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm expecting to see good things from this game.
Yeah, same. And they've been working on this one for quite some time, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been working on this for like a good minute. Like not even a good minute. I mean like a while. So like
yeah, and I mean at this point they're not even completely done yet. I mean we're back onto this. So this one's going back to a 2022 release date, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So you know we're still. I think all we've really got is a little bit of details from the developer, and then you know a 3-minute trailer that's roaming around online. But we're still waiting for quite a bit. I know from the research that I've done, there's supposed to be like 6, like it's basically like kind of an open world, but there's going to be 6 main areas in the world. So there's supposed to be like 6 like demigod bosses that you're going to be fighting. Again, don't hold me to it because I know there's going to be changes. There's going to be a co-op format as well, which I don't think originally was the plan, but it has been announced that they're going to do the multiplayer co-op as well. So it's going to support up to 4 players. I don't know how that's going to work. Like if it's going to be something like some of the other games where you have like a storyline on single player and then you have like a different way of playing multiplayer. Have you seen anything on any of that stuff yet?
No, I'm not really exactly too sure on how they're going to incorporate that into the game. It would be nice to be able to like kill something, I guess, in the main story, like with your friend or whatnot. But if they do make it to where the multiplayer is separated from the actual story, then unfortunately, I mean, there's not really much we can like do. It's still fun, I guess, to play the multiplayer. But if you can play the story with a friend, then that's completely
different. That's what I want to know is if you can do because I'm way more of a multiplayer gamer. So if I can do like the storyline with my friends, like that's the best. But the reason I don't think that's gonna be possible, again, you know, we're making leaps and bounds progress with how gaming works. And I mean, it's getting so much more complex and interactive. But it's like, I believe, again, that as you go through the game, you're actually changing the fate of what's happening based on decisions that you make in the game and things that you do. So how you would set that type of complexity up into a multiplayer format, I couldn't even begin to imagine like how you would get that. But the game looks beautiful. And this is one that I would definitely play by myself anyway. So,
Yeah.
doesn't work. It doesn't work.
The intention release date for this game is January 21st, 2022. So we got a good while before we hear any more news about this game.
Well, that's better than what I saw. I just saw 2022 and they didn't have a date. So you actually got it confirmed like January. That's pretty awesome. That's not that far then. That's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not too bad. But next on the list is one of the most hyped games of the year. It's fucking Halo Infinite.
Halo. I'm sorry. I'm always going to be a die-hard Halo fan. I'm always excited. They have never, I mean, in my opinion, I know people have complained about other games. I love Halo. Like that was my first like PC game back in the day. Like I love me some Halo.
Halo Infinite is like the one game, or Halo franchise in general is like the one game that you can't fuck up. It's like it's impossible. It's really hard to like mess the game up.
Maybe that's why I like it so much.
Because it's like it's so hard to, because the past 4 games, well, I take that back, because 5 was shit. But like, or no, it was Halo Guardians, I think. It wasn't too bad, but people complained about they weren't able to play Master Chief. And they weren't able to play Master Chief the entire game. So like in Halo Guardians, I think it was you and 3 other people. So you had a squad this time. It wasn't just Master Chief. And this time the squad was hunting down Master Chief to kind of, take Cortana away from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Master Chief, with all his fucking years of experience, puts them like right in the fucking ground. Like it was a fight scene that they had. And Master Chief wasn't even sweating. Like, that's how serious he was. He was like,
"Oh, Master Chief's the shit. Get out of here. Like, come on,
Yeah, because he literally told the guy that was coming up to him, he was like, I really don't want to have to do this to you.
Like, don't make me do this, dude. Like, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm sorry,
and that's my thing. Like, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't even took the assignment. Like, he survived the Covenant, the Flood.
Yeah, for sure. Who the hell, like, who do you think you are to go after him, right?
I would have sat my ass, I would have got court-martialed. I would have went home.
Well, so do we have a because I think of all the ones we're talking about, this is the one I'm the most excited about. Do we have a release date? I know it's supposed to be 2021. Have they said anything else?
No, the intention release date is just 2021.
Interesting. So where it is that this is the last standalone Halo title. Now they might have some spin-offs and stuff, but this is like the Halo Infinite is supposed to be like the grand finale, last standalone title for Halo. Like, it makes me a little more hype because I feel like this is all or nothing. Like Halo has built up this reputation of being Halo. I mean, I'm sorry, but even people who hate Halo know who Master Chief is. They know Halo. Like, it is such a beautifully built brand. It has always been a beautifully built game. They've done nothing but improve in each series, in my opinion. Again, it's just my opinion, but I really want to see, like, this is it, guys. Like, this past, what has it been, a decade? It's been 10 years that they've been going, like, doing this. And it's kind of like the end of like Marvel for me. It's like, okay, like, what do you like, how, like, you guys got to like go out with a bang. Like, you've made it clear that this is it. And
because he's been through so much.
Yeah.
He's been through so much. I feel like it would be a nice, glorious touch to the game if at the ending of the game he just takes his helmet off and just sits down. It's just like, I'm done. Like,
I don't know though. It's also like, really, like, I don't know. It's gonna be like bittersweet, Like, I don't know. I can't wait to see what they do, man. It's
like, he's the only one to survive every single, like, his whole platoon will be wiped, and he'll still continue to do his job, which is like, is blind like faith. Like, he'll always prevail in the long run.
Do you think, because there's been a lot of talk, it's all rumor, obviously, nobody knows what's gonna happen, but do you think in this one, because supposedly Master Chief, I think, dies in like October 27th, 2560, I think is like the death date that they have based on like the story. And so a lot of people are thinking at the end of this, like, this might be it. Do you think they do that? Because I don't want them to, and I don't think they would. But there's a bunch of people who are talking about how an Infinite Master Chief might die in the end.
I'll put it like this. From what I've seen and from what I've been hearing, it's really likely that they would kill him off at the end. I feel as though because in 2012, when Halo 3 dropped, it literally did better than movies than box office. Like, it was the most hyped thing talked about in that time period. So, like, for Halo Infinite, for when it drops, I don't think they're going to kill him off. If anything, they'll most likely do, like you said, a bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
Like, something might happen to another character or, you know, this or that. But I really do feel as though this will wrap it up nicely. We'll kind of get an ending that the fans can appreciate and they won't get mad about, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be it. Master Chief can finally take a nap. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'll be pissed if he gets killed. But I've just seen, again, when we research these things and we look into the games coming out, it's like we see what's coming from, like, the actual gaming websites, and then you also see like all the Reddit, the spoilers / people just talking crap / so I have seen a lot of, is Master Chief gonna die? Are they gonna kill him off? And I'm like, please don't.
Nah, it'd be real funny if out of nowhere he just comes out with a son. Like, that'd be really funny. Sure. He's like, yeah, this is my little Covenant destroyer.
Hilarious.
And they kind of follow like the God of War thing. Like, Kratos is trying to be a better dad.
How many games do we have in the series now?
This is like 7, I think. 6.
It's number 7? 6 or 7? Yeah. Quite a few. And I know they've had some spin-off stuff. Yeah, this is like main Halo. Like, this is Halo. Yeah,
this is on the Halo story from Halo 1 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. We're all anticipating, all kind of questioning. The multiplayer, from what we heard, there's a battle pass, but once you own it, you keep it forever. You don't have to rebuy the battle pass. It'll come with a lot of customizable things. The freaking director himself said that, and the developer, there will be no microtransactions. So you actually have to work for the shit that you want. So I find that to be good, because that means like everyone has to work.
Yeah.
Not just, all right, $15? I have it.
Yeah. Screw all of you that don't want to spend $15 on this.
Yeah, like, now y'all actually gonna have to put the work in. So
yeah,
the tier progression, I guess, is going to be something different. Each season will have a different theme, as most battle passes go. So I think the battle pass, I think they were aiming for like $10, I think, which is not too bad, because then you get to keep it for the rest of the time you have the game. So personally, I want to try getting into some form of gaming on this channel. I'm not too sure if I want to do a spin-off channel and put it on here on Twitch, but I'll probably get more into that later on the line and see how far this goes. So
you already know I'm down for the gaming side. Whenever you're ready to come play games with me, I'm here.
Oh yeah. I gotta get back on Goose Duck. That game's fun.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? I'll shoot you a message. You can join us in the Sunday lobbies, maybe.
I'm all Sundays, so it doesn't matter.
I will send you the info.
Sundays it is. So that being said, any other topics you got? Anything else you want to bring up? Any mystery games?
No, I mean, the only thing I've been into lately, honestly, is just like the scary game updates. I play me some Pacified, some Phasmophobia, and little 7 Days, but I don't think any of those have anything in particular that, are interesting or new, other than the little updates. So, no, I'm good.
Fair enough. Well, in that's the case, I'm Dino Diggs.
And I'm Miss Flex.
And that's going to be the end of this episode. Hope you guys liked and enjoyed. I'll leave Mrs. Flex's Twitch information in the link's description below.
Thank you.